So lately I've been thinking a lot about how I'm in my 30s now. And I know I'm so old. And there's something funny that happens when you get into your 30s. First of all, you become more of an expert and you realize that you actually know a lot about your field because now you have 10 plus experience, years of experience in something. But you also learn something that I've been learning the hard way and I've finally kind of figured out that advice from people even older and even smarter than you is extremely critical. So today I want to talk about the 4 experts you should always consult when you're starting a new business or launching a new product. These have all come from personal experience as well as working with my clients and learning the things that they need to do better and that they're really struggling with. So the first one is a business lawyer. So I have started a lot of companies with people where I've just kind of signed something and taken equity in something and just signed whatever they gave me. I've also done this in personal life or just signed things. And that has not gone well. That is not the way to do things. You must get a business lawyer. If you're going to start a company with someone, or if you're going to do real work with anybody and it's involving more than like $5, you really need to talk to a lawyer. Get a lawyer. Always ask their advice. It's worth a couple $100 to just call them on the phone. I have a great business lawyer. I'm always happy to recommend to people. He specializes in startup businesses all the way through to mergers and acquisitions, and he has been fantastic for giving me advice on convertible debt and equity and LLCs and S corporations and all that. Get a lawyer. Have them talk to you. If you're going to start giving out equity to people in a company, you need to make sure you do it right. You need to know that there's interest and there's taxes involved as you go. You need to learn how all of this is going to work when you go to the next round, like a Series A. If you've given 20 people equity in your company when you first started, now you're screwed because you're trying to get these larger investors and now you've got all these little people all involved. So those are the kinds of things that really require getting a business lawyer to make sure you're doing it right. I actually have like 4 lawyers now, personal, business, for starting businesses, all sorts of things. Because I want to make sure that every time I do something, I do it right. Patent lawyers, it's just really important. So that's number 1, get a lawyer. Number 2, talk to your connectors. If you're about to start a business with someone else, or you're about to take a large partnership in something, say you're a small business and someone said, hey, go talk to Bob over here. Bob's really great. He knows everything about X. He'll be able to help you and you might have a really good partnership. You meet with Bob. He's great. He looks really smart. He took you out to a nice restaurant and you say, yeah, I'm totally going to go into business. Well, first look at your LinkedIn account. Do you have connections that are related to that you both have share in common? Go ahead and talk to those guys. Ask their opinions of Bob. Figure out whether Bob's a good guy. Look at his record. Look at his track record. What has he done before? What has he started? Talk to those connectors. Your connectors will know a lot about the people you're doing business with. Now, this may not work as well, I don't know, in like New York City, but in Charlotte, everybody knows everybody. So if I want to know about a certain person and I talk to a connector, somebody I know that seems to know everybody, they're going to be able to say, oh yeah, don't, that guy's bad news. Or they'll be able to say like, yeah, he's actually really great. I would totally go into business with him. And that kind of review is just, something that you can't even quantify. It's so, so important. So make sure that anytime you do anything really important with like a large client or a large partner, you talk to a connector. LinkedIn is a great way to figure out who your connections are and who might know the person that you're trying to talk to. The third thing you need to do, and this may sound biased because I am one, but you need to talk to a brand and marketing expert. This could be 2 different people, but often I'm not really talking about a designer as much as somebody who is a brand and marketing strategist. If you're starting a new business and you don't really know, say you have a new idea and you're like, yeah, I'm just going to build a website and then I'm just going to let it go and just going to start. But you don't talk to an expert in marketing and branding, you may go off in the completely wrong direction. Make sure that early on you don't pick a name that's crazy. You don't design a logo that's crazy. You don't build a website that doesn't really explain what you're doing. You don't user test by having a marketer help you send out the right kind of surveys and the right kind of emails. You need to make sure that you establish your brand early on rather than just flying by the seat of your pants. So I would definitely recommend talking to a brand strategist. And one of the things that I do for clients, And I rarely plug myself in videos, and I'm not really trying to. But one of the things that I do for clients when they come to me is I'm not just there to say, let's design this pretty logo. They're actually telling me all of their ideas, and I'm making sure that they've talked to the right people. They have the right kind of business strategy. Their pitch deck is in place to be able to pitch to the right kind of investors, clients, and partners, and that their brand guidelines are correct. Like making sure that they know their message, their target audience, the look and feel, the kind of products they're going to be selling and how to make those look right and explain them right, and the kind of social media marketing they're going to be doing. Those are all things that you need to establish early on. So that's the third kind of expert. The last expert that I want to talk about is not really an expert, but we tend to overlook them even though they're extremely important, and that is the user. So if you're starting a new company and you have a product or you have a service or you have a software, often we talk to our family and we talk to our buddies and we ask, is this a good idea? And they say, yeah, it's a great idea. But we forget to really invest in the user and find out whether the user is going to even want this product. Now, sometimes the user will say they want something, but then when you actually deliver it, they won't actually want it. So you have to really try to figure out ways to test whether they're going to want the thing you're building. This may be building an MVP, a minimum viable product, to try and see if they're going to be interested. It involves pitching them ideas, showing them the software, seeing if they'll sign up online. It involves some marketing campaigns online, maybe on Facebook, to try it out. And it involves talking to a lot of people. So don't forget that the user is in some ways their own expert. So just to reiterate, the 4 people that you really need to talk to that I would consider experts would be a business lawyer, a connector, somebody that can give you recommendations, that can connect you to people and also tell you whether or not someone's good to talk to, a branding and marketing strategist, very important to make sure that you're on the right track, and then lots of users. Make sure you listen to these people, make sure you talk to them, get their advice. They know what they're doing more than you do sometimes. You may know a lot about your product and you may know a lot about selling or branding it or building out a business, but you may not know all of those other pieces. So I highly recommend that you get lots of advice. And even though you may think you know everything, you don't. The more advice you can get, the better. And best of luck to you, and keep watching.